Okay, we are having a massive hangout today. It won't be extremely long, although there's a lot to go over. We will be hopefully having part 1 here and part 2 on Reds Rhetoric's channel. Yes, the rumors are true. Hashtag everything I've ever said about everything for the last year has been absolutely correct, minus the things I've already corrected, which I've gotten wrong, which are small compared to the things that people like UNIRock got wrong. So we are going to basically go over what has been filed today, what has happened, what has transpired. I got 82, I got Sean, I got Cheshire, I got Bullinator, and Reg should be joining us shortly. So yeah, we're just going to dive into it. First of all, yes, it is true. Scotty Lee Forbes, the counsel for Kyle Curtis, has withdrawn from the case. That, by the way, you can say recuse, maybe not.
One correction: she hasn't withdrawn yet.
She put a motion. She's put a motion.
She's put a motion in, but the judge still has to sign off on it.
Yeah. Okay, so she put a motion in to leave for withdrawal of counsel, which Sean, myself, Bruhif, and a few other people noted was probably going to be the case. And we did cite the rule that she cited, which was Rule 1.1.6b, specifically 4, but she cited, I think, 1, 4, and 7. And so these are basically when you have a client that you cannot, in good conscience or ethically, continue with because they have lied to you or lied to the court and either has asked you to continue to lie or continuing to represent them would be an ethical breach of duty according to the standard rules and practices and business court law. So anyways, yeah, first of all, before I get in, actually show some of this stuff, and by the way, I will be showing the October and November discover we got from back for the subpoena, which have been redacted, which has been approved from my lawyer. So, no big deal there. But I got some super chats. Let me read them out real quick. And when I do that, you guys can actually give your feedback so far, what you've read. Because again, I haven't had a chance to read everything. I've just read the transcript that Kyle had, which was the first time I've seen it. It is massive, to say the least. Much bigger than I expected. It was 156 pages.
It took me an hour and a half to read it.
Yeah, I was reading it before and after my eye exam today. It was that massive. Okay, so I do have some super chats here. 1 second here. Oh, go ahead, and I'll get to the super chats in a second. Sean, so you can brag. You were right. Go ahead, do it. No, you want to.
Oh, okay. For those that don't know, I was in an argument with, I believe it was Menace to Sobriety, back on October 14th, right after the depositions. And I flat out said that I fully expect that the next motion to be filed with the court would be a motion to withdraw. My prediction came true this morning. I could not be happier. Just to rub it in that this little armchair internet lawyer knew more and fully predicted what was going to happen based on how the case was progressing. So for all of you that think internet lawyers don't know shit, a little bit of research goes a long way. You're welcome.
Yeah, we can safely say without a hesitation or any reservation that Minister Sobriety has gotten everything wrong. Thank you for becoming a member, Sean M. Appreciate that. Michael, the Canadian Atheist. Hey, good to see you again, Michael. Yes, we'll come back on your podcast, although he didn't ask us yet, but we would love to because we like your podcast. I think we've been on it 3 times. For the Final Verdict Party Fund, 10 Canadian. Thank you, sir. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. And I got a DM from Intrigued Feline, which is pretty interesting. I think I'm going to go right into that, actually, if you don't mind. I'll take a little segue. So Benjamin, who I've been talking to pretty much almost every day, who's been nothing but forthright and honest throughout this, and by the way, I got to tell you, I do feel sorry for him. He put his basically life in public view and scrutiny to do what was right and to help me out and to help the community out, and my greatest gratitude for him. You can actually find in the court record that has been submitted today by the court, or by my lawyer to the court, my communications with Benjamin. Everything I've ever said to him started from September 6th. There was no coercion. There was no offering of any financial restitutions for any kind, except I did offer him to have it notarized, which would have been like $10. But other than that, everything that UNIRock said as far as the narrative was wrong. Shocker. But he said just now, or actually I guess it was a few hours ago, he said, in all fairness, it was probably hard for Nate to admit Kyle's wrongdoings since he was the one on the phone with him for hours helping to concoct his motion to set aside base on service. Now Benjamin would know this because he was, hanging out with Kyle. Kyle was over at his house, so I think Ben actually probably overheard these conversations or definitely knew of them. But, well, we'll see. I'll ask him about that. So, anyways, what do you guys want to dive into? You guys want to dive into the motion withdrawal right away?
We can do that.
Alrighty.
It's a good start. It's a good start.
I'm trying to do this and watch the live chat. It's very difficult at the same time, so my apologies.
Multi-monitors.
I got multi-monitors.
We'll use them properly.
Okay. Do you guys want me to screen share with you guys, or do you want to look at the outside?
I've already got them looking at the outside, so it don't matter.
All
to
right.
me.
So this was filed this morning. This was ECF 45, filed about 9:40 something Eastern
I'll be
time.
back in 1 sec.
Okay.
Well, go ahead and share it to the stream, though, Steve.
Okay. I'm sharing it to the. I am sharing it to the stream. I'm not sharing it to the internal.
All right.
I could if you want.
No, I got it on the other monitor.
And then let me get my. There we go. All right. Pursuant to Rule 16 of the General Rules of Practice for the Superior and District Court, Ellis and Winters LLP, and its attorney Scott Lee Forbes, respectively move the court for leave to withdraw as counsel as defendant Kyle Russell Curtis. In support of this motion, Ellis and Winters state the following. Now, remember, we said that she probably would have to go to her ethics counsel.
Bosses.
Yeah, her boss's the ethics counsel. This is kind of a given when you have a situation like this, because you have a duty to your client and also a duty to your firm and to the court. One, as an attorney who has made an appearance in the case may withdraw from representation with justifiable cause, reasonable notice to the client, and permission to the court. North Carolina General Rules and Practices 16. Now, she was trying to reach Kyle to inform him of this. She is unable to reach Kyle.
Somebody's on the lam. Somebody's on the lam.
And the reason I know that because she informed my lawyer.
She said it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she mentions it in here as well, by the way. Number 2, 1.1b of the North Carolina Rules of Professional Conduct further defines when an attorney may withdraw from representing a client. See North Carolina Rules of Professional Conduct 1.16b. For circumstances listed in Rule 1.1b apply here. First, a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if withdrawal can be accomplished without material adverse effect on the interest of the client. Second, I'll skip the other stuff, but second, a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if the client insists. Yeah.
Let's actually cover these points as you go through them.
Okay, sure. Okay.
So for line 3, first a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if withdrawal can be accomplished without material adverse effects on interest of the client. Kyle's already paid her. He paid her a $5,000 retainer fee. Right. So there is no material adverse effect for her withdrawing. She's given $5,000 worth of service.
That's correct.
And as far as the adverse effect to the client, doesn't matter if she's there or not. He's fucked. Based on the evidence. Nothing her being there can prevent him being fucked in this case.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see any adversity whatsoever.
So her being there or not doesn't matter at this point. He's screwed himself. So there is no adverse effect for them saying, I want no more part of this case.
I'll blow it up.
Okay, now you can continue.
All right. Let's see here. So number 4, second, a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if the client insists upon taking action that the lawyer considers repugnant, imprudent, or contrary to the advice and judgment of the lawyer, or with which the lawyer has a fundamental disagreement. But this is the one I cited. I said this is the one that she was going to use. Now, could it be other ones? Yes, there's a catch-all that exists. I think it's number 7, and of course, certain other conditions should be met, like 1. But this is the main one, the Rule 1.16 Bravo 4, is that she has a conflict, meaning that she has now known for a fact that she was lied to, that Kyle has been confirmed, submitted falsified evidence to the court, and lied on a deposition.
Let's spectrum this, though. Let's give best case, worst case. This actually covers a broad range of things that could have happened. Best case for Kyle was he just simply wasn't listening to her advice. Mm-hmm. She would give him advice, and he would say, fuck it, I don't want to do that. That's the best case for Kyle. Worst case is she found out that everything he said is a lie. So anywhere in that spectrum it could be, but none of it is good for Kyle.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Steven Steen, $2. Thank you, Steven Steen. LOL. Thank you, buddy. Okay. Number 3, the lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if the representation has been rendered unreasonably difficult by the client. Well, I think that's kind of indicative.
That's cut and dry.
Yeah, that's kind of indicative of, hey, Kyle has lied under a deposition, which raised it from a mere Class I felony of submitting false statements to a Class F felony of actual perjury. Because in a deposition, you have multiple witnesses. So when you're being deposed and you lie on a deposition, that is perjury. That's more than just a false statement on an affidavit.
Well, even further than that, this is talking about she can't represent him because it's unreasonably difficult because all of the evidence she has is fraudulent.
Yeah, and he's lied. She's asked him questions in depositions, and he lied to her face. Outright lie.
Yes.
Number 4, a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if other good cause of withdrawal exists. That's the generic one. So
that's a generic.
That's the generic, and that is B9. And so that one kind of a catch-all. And from what I understand when I've read about this rule is that most of the time a court is going to grant it. And if they ask the lawyer why, they usually just cite B9 if they can't really say why, or 4, obviously, because there's no way in good conscience a lawyer can continue with a client that has committed multiple felonies to their face and refuses to take their counsel.
Now, when we go further down this document, we need to come back to this one for the general blanket statement because this actually applies later on.
Yeah. Am I getting? Hang on.
And I don't think the judge would even have to ask her after looking at what comes up later. No, he's not going to need to ask the question of why you want to be relieved of duties for this counsel. Basically, I don't want to say recused because people seem to have a problem with that word.
I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah. But
continue.
Yeah, hang on. I lost.
7. You're on 7.
Yeah, I know, but somebody keeps messaging me. All right, so number 7. Ellis and Winters represent that each of the 4 grounds for withdrawal listed above here applies. Okay, and I think somebody just mentioned, oh, she's just listening, not all of them applied. I think somebody just literally said that in the live chat, did they not? Hashtag no, that is incorrect. Let me see who said that.
It's her statement to the court. It's kind of not up for dispute.
Yes, Clinton says she's just citing the rule, not that all of these apply. You guys are reading way too much into it already.
Okay, let's
what
read.
What did 7 say? Represents that each of the 4 grounds for withdrawal listed above here applies.
So yeah,
here.
Each of the 4 grounds applies.
I don't know how people cannot read properly.
So for that person in chat that had that completely wrong,
yeah,
there you go.
Okay, number 9. Ellis and Winters had attempted to seek the position of the defendant, Kyle Russell Curtis, concerning this motion, but has not received a response. Like I said, she was unable to reach him.
You skipped an important one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ellis and Winters has confirmed with counsel for the plaintiff, Steve McRae. Hey, that's me.
Conferred, not confirmed.
Conferred. Concerning this motion, Mr. McRae, still me, through his counsel, consents to the relief sought in this motion. My lawyer does not.
Okay. This is the line I said was important earlier on. Scotty Lee talked with your lawyer, Scott. I don't remember his last name. I'm sorry. They talked together, and part of that conversation, I'm going to just assume, had to deal with what was brought back with the subpoena, everything else involved with the case going on right now, and both lawyers agreed Scotty Lee, for ethical reasons, has to bow out.
Correct. Yeah,
that's what that 4th, a lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if other good cause for withdrawal exists. This is the point. Both lawyers agreed it needs to happen.
And let me point out once again, I know this is a shocker, but OPT lawyer was correct. I had asked him off the record if you had given his lawyer some advice, what would it be? Off the record, not legal advice, and it was to withdraw. And my lawyer thought he would withdraw as well. So we figured this was the course of action for her to do. And again, no fault of her own. I don't think she did a damn thing wrong. I honestly don't. I think she did. People kept saying that, she got a big ball of fuck and tried to unfuck it. And that's her job. And she tried to do it the best she could. I don't think she did anything wrong. Do you?
No, Scotty Lee did what she could with what she had. And she did it to the best of her ability until there was a point to where she said, I cannot defend it.
Right. Yeah.
And maintain my ethics to the court. I cannot defend this.
For those reasons, Ellens and Winters LLP and his attorney, Scotty Forbes Lee, respectively request that the court enter an order allowing them to withdraw from representing Mr. Curtis in this case. A proposed order accompanies this motion. and that's signed today, and then sent to my lawyer. So, yeah, this hasn't been ruled upon, but chances are it's going to be ruled with no problem whatsoever. I don't see why the judge would deny this in any way, shape, or form. Right.
And I'm just going to say I'm going over the Kyle deposition. 117 freaking pages.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah, I barely made through
the last
it,
quarter, Sean. The last quarter of that deposition is the index of words.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I didn't count any of that. Of actual deposition, there's 117 pages.
Yeah, it's over 100 pages of just actual depositions. The last part is the index. Yeah, I know OCT lawyer is always shocked that he's correct. I know, right? He's
a lot of it's repetitive. A lot of it's really repetitive because he's trying to show a pattern of behavior.
Yeah, well, actually, they're going to use it. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to use that indexical for the DA, so the DA can look at because this is all going to be turned over to the DA. I mean, there's criminal charges being pending at some point. It's just going to happen. All right, let's see. Where do we go to next? All right, so I'm going to show you guys the October, November statements. You guys ready for this?
Yay! Those got to be shown to us too because I can't see them in the deposition.
You know what? I'll share the internal if you like. Thank
you.
Okay.
Please.
I'm so curious about October.
You heard it here. He wants an internal. Dun-dun. I'm doing it. Wait. So many moving parts. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see that, Scott? I mean, Sean?
Yes.
Awesome. Here we go. Boom. There it is. All right. Now, look. I want you guys to notice something here. This is a proper redaction. Okay. This is through the court. This is redacted properly. You cannot unredact this. Okay, so it has been the way you would properly redact it is to block it, photocopy. This is actually a photocopy. You can kind of see it's been degraded a little bit.
And just so you know, Steve, I have my QR code reader.
Oh yeah, no, I already did it. I already did it. It's way ahead of you, but go for it.
I want to do. I haven't done it live yet. I want to do it.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. So this is October 1st, correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, it is.
Boom, 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 boom. And what's the address there, Sean?
Oh, that would be Pleasant Garden.
That would be Pleasant Garden. And what font is that in?
I don't know the name of it, but it looks like 2:1. It's
a 2, 8 or 9, I think. Yeah, 8. But it is a Futura book, which is the Discover font. Yeah, it is the correct font.
Can you zoom in, please?
I can zoom in on this.
It's not let me scan it when it's that small. Come on. Grab it.
That's about as large as I can make it. I put it on my Twitter.
I wanted to do it straight from the screen of you sharing it. Oh well, never mind.
Well, you're gonna have to trust me. I copied this onto the my Twitter.
I bet it says 2019 1/11.
It says 20190111.
Yay!
Yeah. Hashtag that means that this was put out on November 1st, the day after the statement closes, the day it was mailed, which we expect. And by the way, UNIRock's wrong on that. The format is year, day, month.
Yes. And
by the way, we've lost count how many things UNIRock got wrong on.
Just say all of it.
Everything, just pretty much everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he got right. All right. So we'll get into the reasons why we didn't get anything prior to October, because it's really interesting. So this is all of October that we got. And by the way, this is a real subpoena that we did do, which again, UNIRock had said that we have fabricated. That was a lie.
Go to account activity.
Which one?
I believe it's page 1. So point of sale with cash, debit purchase, third party debit. I'm guessing that's an ATM withdrawal. ACH with I don't know what that is, but yeah, that looks a little different than August, which was not what I was expecting actually.
Yeah, well, August he added things in.
ACH stands for Automated Clearinghouse. It's basically a bank transfer.
Okay.
Based on routing and account number.
And if you look at the beginning balance, what does that beginning balance say?
That would be 0.
That'd be 0.
Opening balance, 0.
Opening balance, yes. I'll do a spoiler. The reason why we didn't get anything back prior to October is because the account didn't exist prior to October.
Shocker. Now, if I remember correctly, you said that there was issues with Discover getting the June through September.
We got October, November, December. Anything prior to that didn't exist.
Yeah, but if I remember right, you said that Discover was having issues with it, and it took you a day to figure out what those issues were.
Correct. And we got a letter back from them. I'll show you guys the letter we got. Danger Man. Hey, what's up, Danger Man? He says for £5, $5. Could UNIRock face charges for aiding and abetting fraud? There has to be consequences. Don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, we'll see what Kyle does to throw people under the bus.
Don't know, but it would be interesting to see what happens.
Now we've already have indications that Nate, helped him with his harebrained scheme, and he's a lawyer. There's obviously huge
UNIRock pretty much admitted that today.
Yeah, and so did Ben.
UNIRock threw Nate under the bus hard.
Ben seems to have actually seems to indicate that he knows Ben and Kyle had hours of conversation trying to concoct this crazy plan. Okay, but moving on here. All right, so this is November, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, here's the cool thing about November. What's the date? What's the zip code on that November statement there?
What? That would be not Charlotte.
Not Charlotte. Oh. Well, so unless aliens did it, that's a very good indication that it had been altered. I would agree. I would think, right? Right.
Yeah. Also go back up to the date. Huh. Month, space, date, comma, space, year.
Oh, my goodness. There's actually a year there. Oh, I think for October there was a year there too. Oh, there was.
Oh, look at that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but August was missing
I bet it does that for every statement.
Except August. Huh. Wow. What would have caused that? Something like that, Sean?
No, that would be forging. Sorry.
Now, it's funny. I think that they call that the submission of altered evidence, because the forging is the signatures. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the way my lawyer has been using these terms. He did say that this is interesting. He has said now, because of the depositions, and the judge definitely knew what he was doing when he ordered those depositions and why we had no objection to them. When Kyle had said that he had the original rental agreement in ink that he was going to submit to his lawyer, when he said that, because he has said that and not produced them, in addition to the visual alterations that appear to exist, in addition to Ben's sworn testimony, that is enough for a criminal charge of forgery to be entered in.
I'd like to point out one thing that a lot of people seem to be not realizing. Who all got deposed?
Oh, that would have been Ben and Kyle. Who wasn't deposed?
Where was your deposition? The judge didn't need one.
I was just busy that day.
Now, if I would also like to point out something about the January statement. You notice the beginning balance and the opening balances are redacted.
Yes.
You notice that the October's wasn't.
Yes.
There's a reason for that. Because it was zero.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a balance. Now, what happens when you have a zero balance on a bank account?
You broke?
They close it.
Oh. Well, or a newly opened account.
Or a newly opened account. But if your balance goes to zero, the bank wants to know if you just want to close the account. Period.
Well, generally after a period of time.
Yeah.
Not necessarily immediately, but if your account sits at zero for a couple weeks or an entire billing cycle, that's when they're like, hey, what's going on?
It took my old bank 1 month with a 1 cent balance to close the account.
Well, a lot of it depends on the bank, and a lot of it depends on the activity on your account prior to that. Like if you have a pattern of getting a deposit on the first of the month and spending every last cent, they're not going to close your account on the 31st.
They want a dramatic reading of Scotty's withdrawal by Sean when on Reds channel.
Me.
Yeah. So what is it? What is this? This has a date here, doesn't it?
But see, I can't do a mean reading on Scotty because Scotty is just as much a victim as everybody else is.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for Scotty to say she wants to withdraw, there's not going to be a mean reading of that. And if Reds does one, I'll be mad at him.
Yeah, I agree. We should be a happy one for Scotty Lee. She actually got out from under this.
No, I wouldn't even say happy. More, he did it more supported.
Yeah. All right. So this is January, correct?
That would be January. Yes.
Oh, let's go down here in January. Oh, can you tell me the zip code there?
Oh, that would be not Charlotte.
Not Charlotte. Now, it's kind of funny because Ben had told me he started getting Discover mailed to his residence in about February. Can we look at the February statement? February. Oh, no, that's January still. Oh, my God. That's a lot of purchases. Hey, by the way, this is where all the NonSequitur Show money looked like probably went. There you go.
Yeah. I was just thinking that.
Right? Look at this.
Well,
Holy cow.
I'm going to disagree with that because
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
That's
I don't think he
people.
put the non-sec money into Discover.
I just joke. Team Skeptic, $5. I don't have a lot of money, but this is 5 for all the BS Uni and Kyle. Put you through, Steve. Looking forward to return of the show. # long live non-sec. What are you talking about, Steve? Your channel's like making bake, man. You're like the next PewDiePie. What are you talking about?
Oh,
PewDiePie.
You haven't heard what happened there, have you, Steve?
I know that. I know one video got demonetized because of circles that look like boobs or something.
No. I'm talking PewDiePie.
Oh no, I don't pay attention to PewDiePie.
There's issues and fuckery afoot.
Okay.
Oh, good
Oh
Lord.
wow! To the spur of nobody.
I don't follow PewDiePie. All right, so look at this. When was this? January Zelle payment to Benjamin Potts.
Whoa. Hold on. Hold your phone. Hold the phone. What's that transaction number?
That would be P9C. Let me do it military-wise. Oh, you do it military. Go ahead, AT. You do military jargon. Good.
Papa Bravo 9 Charlie Lima 4 Quebec X-ray Delta.
That's it.
Can you pull up the
Zelle
Kyle submission and when that was supposed to have been paid?
I think it's in here actually, or it's in the. We'll get to the exhibits. It's in the exhibits that we filed this morning. But yeah, so that he left this blank. By the way, he redacted this. This was redacted specifically so we could show this. So he knew exactly what we can see. This is the unredacted part he left unredacted for us because this has already been made public. Fi Kyle. So there's nothing wrong with that. So when UNIRock ran his another fictitious narrative that, we're showing Kyle's financials, it is public record. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. His lawyer did not even have a problem with that. So again, UNIRock # lies.
God, now his
Sure, lie
narrative
a lot.
No. The narrative now is going to be, well, of course she didn't object to it because she's no longer representing him. That's going to be the narrative.
That was
Watch.
Yeah, you're probably right, but that was before. All right, so let's go down here and now look at the new address change. Goodness. Okay, there we go. Now look at it.
Oh, look, now it is Charlotte, but this is February.
This is February. Which exactly what Ben had told me when the first time I ever talked to him. He said this exact same thing. He said at some point Kyle did do it. I think he did say February, but it was definitely not in August, October that he had submitted. That he knew was wrong.
I also have another point to make about all this. Suppose that those did exist, still doesn't prove that he lived at that address. All it proves is he got a bill sent to that address.
Absolutely
and
right.
that living at the address, as the judge said, doesn't matter.
Doesn't fucking matter.
The only thing it mattered to was the judge was trying to determine one thing that Kyle had said in his last affidavit, which was, I believe, 44.1?
That he never got
papers, right? That's it. He has to give some credence to that, or else Kyle would have had grounds to do an appeal.
Well, and just to remember that a lot of people in the unitard side seem to forget, Kyle was served in August. He says that he lived with Ben Potts in August. His Discover statements don't agree with that. He moved in with Ben, or at least according to this, he moved in February of the following year. His defense is he wasn't served at his mom's house. He lived with his mother in August.
Correct.
He lied.
Oh yeah.
He at least got mail at his mom's house and presumably paid his bill.
So it was 33.1. Thank you, Intrigue Feline. 33.1. JR Perez, $5 says the super sad is to say hello to the pathetic Jason, the lying piece of shit. Yep. Thank you, sir. Ben says, yes, my memory is on point. Your memory is on point, Ben. Yeah. I mean, and by the way, the entire conversation, let me reiterate, the entire conversations that I've ever had with Ben have been made public to the court, which is perfectly fine for me. I wanted them to be. So all this narrative about my Twitter being subpoenaed or me going under oath, bullshit.
I'm going to say that's semantics because your conversations were subpoenaed, but just not to you.
Well, sure, but yes,
that's a semantical thing.
But the point being is that I didn't have to give them anything. I chose to give some. I wasn't required to. But I did give them some stuff. But what the correspondence shows is exactly what we said. We didn't even know about Ben wanting to come forth until September 6th. I had not talked to him prior. I knew of him, but I didn't talk to him. He testified to that. And so this whole BS that we had been talking to him since January that UNIRock was saying was a lie. I know it's difficult to understand for some people, and I know it's a shock to other people. Sir lies a lot. He lied again. So continuing. Oh my God, there's a lot of activity. Oh, look at this. Some more payments. This again. What was this? I believe this was.
Is that the other one?
That's the other one. Yes, it was.
The other 300.
Yeah, and there's also 80 that was mentioned too in the Zelle, which was made public.
Okay, 44.1. Let's take a look here.
I believe that would match.
As soon as it let me go to it, damn. Come on.
Steve, chat's yelling at you, and now they're yelling at me to mod Ben.
Oh, I'll give. Yeah, sure.
Okay, 44.1.
A second here, and I'll give mods. I don't think he knows what to do with mods. Could be dangerous. We could, but
I will read from my screen and just make sure I'm getting the right things going on here. So that was the first one. This was the July one. Where's it at?
Yeah, I mean, we've submitted a bunch. Okay, just to guys give you an idea of what we submitted today. That's all. That's a whole bunch of missions.
Okay, I'm watching my right screen. You tell me if I'm reading the right numbers. SB4C642VD.
That is correct, sir.
Correct.
And Kyle claims that was July 30th.
Oh,
this happened to me
no,
February 5th. Huh, Kyle?
Man.
By the way, Jason, this is called forgery.
Did he change the number also?
No, the 300 was correct.
The 300 is correct.
Yes. But what he did was he just basically took this payment from February and tried to pass it off
he literally
in July
did
28th. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. You guys, I haven't gone. I've tried to go through all these exhibits, but there was just so many of them. I recall one of these was the Zelle. Do you know which one?
I've not gone through all those yet. I was at work when that got dropped.
There's a lot of exhibits. That's our communications, by the way.
Can I read Helsoy's super chat?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, nice for 50 knock. Nice to see this finally coming to a conclusion. On a positive note, though, I'm sure Kyle will find a new boyfriend to live with soon. And the reason I wanted to read that is because I wanted to add on the end, in prison.
Whether he likes it or not.
There you go.
That's the one. So if you guys see here, July 29, 2019, Zelle payment to Benjamin Potts with that same confirmation number, $300.
Is that PB9CL4QXD?
That is correct, sir.
Correct.
That was supposedly July 29th. Oh, you're reading. Okay, I thought you were looking at the actual bank statements.
That was one of them.
That was the one that was in at the end of January, right?
This was this. Okay, so this one right here, SB4C642 Victor Delta. That
was February.
February 5th.
And then the other one was January.
Supposedly July 30th.
Yeah, so did I not say, though? Did I not tell people one was from July 30th or the 31st? Or I don't remember. But,
Jason debunked that in minutes.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Now, here's what I find
He's so good at that.
Really interesting. Now, here's what I find really interesting. So here we have one Zelle payment to Ben for 300. Yet, go back to the actual Discover statement.
While that's happening, Edison Carter said, I don't know about you, but I'd be furious if a Zelle payment took 5+ months to clear.
Yeah, I'd be a little annoyed.
Yeah. Not just one. Two of them.
Two.
Yeah.
No, back up, Steve. Because what about that $80 payment?
That was on the Zelle that we got.
Yeah, it was on Zelle, but if you're going to transpose the two 300s,
Why not the 80 as well?
wouldn't you think that, hey, there's this other Zelle payment? I was making these claims about making multiple payments to Ben. Why ignore the 80?
I don't know.
Because he even said in his deposition, oh, yeah, I was throwing money towards Ben for utilities like the internet, too.
Well, one of these payments Ben sent back. He sent back a $300 payment on the 5th, I believe it was, February 5th. But yeah, who the heck knows why he didn't include? It's like, hey, we're gonna forge, you might as well go all the way, right?
Jesus.
But yeah, this is pretty positive. And by the way, like I said, I gave you guys the dates, and and I said one was February 5th, and I think the other one was January 30th, 31st. And of course, like Sean said, oh, UNIRock did a masterful job at debunking. Okay, right.
The crack team did.
Crack team. He's got a crack team, man. All right, so this is. I'm going to show you guys this letter because again, this was all set for my lawyer to be approved. I'm going to read his first letter first. He says, let's see here. Thank you for your response. I have one quick question. It looks like everything we requested included except for the July and August 2019 statements. These two statements are particularly relevant in this case. Is there a reason they were not included? Now, Sean, did you not ask me about October? And what was my answer to you?
That you didn't do anything before October. That you didn't have anything before October.
But when you specifically asked about, and when you said August, I said, did I not say we have not gotten August yet, and we didn't know why, right?
Yeah, because I was wanting to compare the original October statement versus the Kyle submitted August statement, and you actually misunderstood what I was saying at first.
Okay, but I did say that we have not gotten August, right?
Right.
To be clear here, this is the email back and forth with Discover. For anybody who doesn't know how to read, it says to civil subpoena, blanked out the name, discover.com. Just because I know people are kind of not the brightest sometimes and like to make up random garbage and be like, well,
stop that crazy talk.
This Jeremy person now. Who else are they dragging into this
crazy talk?
Let me read it. Let me read it.
Let me read this first, and you can read it. OPT lawyer, hang on. OPT lawyer, $5. Vindication, baby. Yeah, we already knew this was coming. But thank you, OPT lawyer. Hashtag, you were right about everything so far. Who'd have thunk an actual lawyer that actually knows what they're doing? I'm impressed. All right, so yeah, please read this. The response to us.
Greetings. Thank you for contacting us. In regards to your question, the earliest statement information we could locate began on October 1st, 2019. The 10/31/2019 statement shows a beginning balance of $0, which indicates there was no activity prior, and so no statements were generated prior to October 1st, 2019.
Gasp! Shock! Horror! Yeah, you know what? That's didn't even. I gotta admit though, that didn't cross my mind.
that blew everybody away as soon as you let us know what was going on with that.
That truly was an October surprise.
That shocked everybody. There was no preparing for that.
My lawyer was shocked too. He didn't even think none of us thought about it. Not even Rufson. He's genius. So I don't feel so bad because that was like the last thing that for some reason nobody ever thought of. But oh my God, yeah, he literally took the October one and made a completely new August one because the account didn't exist before then.
Yep. Oh, you stopped sharing.
Oh, do you want me to still share? Is there more? I can still share.
You still got more to show.
Do I?
I guess. I'm hoping so.
Lots.
What you think? Wait. You think I'm going to do like a Rudy Giuliani thing? Because that's not going to happen.
No, you were doing that before we went on air. We're good there.
Here's a question.
All day long.
Here's a question. The bottom of the February statement, does the data matrix say 2020 103?
By the way, I was just chucking in my shirt. That's all. This one?
Is that February? Yes.
All right. Well, we could find out, couldn't we?
Dude, can you do that for me? I'm willing to bet it says 2020 0103 because it would have been printed on March 1st. Just for the people who say the date format's wrong.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Hey, did you know that you were presenting to everybody?
Yeah.
Steve's getting desktop shit again.
Yeah, it's okay. Want to see my desktop? That's my desktop. Although I have 2 desktops, the other one's completely blank.
Oh my god, what is that mess?
I know, man. A lot of games and stuff.
This is disgusting.
Counter-Strike. I am
Where
not
the hell
organized.
is
What do
the
you want?
organization?
Fishing Planet? I'm not
Team
organized.
What am I
Get off
looking
me.
at?
Get off me. What's wrong with you people?
Your desktop is a cancer.
I just installed Kubuntu on my VM, so.
Everybody who said everything awful about Steve was right.
We can't be friends anymore, Steve.
I know.
until
This
you come up with your
literally
desktop.
probably
We're
gave
done.
Bullet a heart attack.
Throw Steve under the bus. Get him out of here.
You've seen my desktop.
He is the
before.
imposter. Kick him out of the game.
Hey, do you remember the old one I had? The one that was had a shelf and everything. That was really cool.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that one was like that one. Where's my?
I don't believe this is Steve anymore. He's being super sus. He used to have a really organized desktop, and now he doesn't.
Right.
Kick him off the ship.
I don't. Where's my?
We all do 95% of the tasks. He's not doing anything. He's an imposter.
I don't even know where
Confirmed.
I'm going here.
You're checking the little squarey thing in the doodly. Dear God. What would you do without me? Flounder. The word you're looking for is flounder. You're welcome. See?
My God.
Easier to find if with a little bit more
I got
organization.
it. I'm telling you, I'm not that organized. I never claimed to be. Okay, what does that say?
Housewifer 20 says a desktop with a single icon bad unfollowed.
Hang on.
Helios for 5. Steve, consider this super chat as payment to hire someone to organize that nightmare you call a desktop.
Listen here, man. Housewife, I'm. Hey, look, I have two on my Kubuntu desktop. All right, but yeah, I'll get more organized one of these days. It's just I don't know. I'm just whatever.
Okay, for Jason, for Menace to Sobriety, it reads 2020-01-03, based solely on the fact that I saw it was a February statement that was printed on March 1st. It is year, day, month.
And so
you're welcome.
That was February's. That would make sense then, right? Yep, absolutely, because it would be the day after February 29th, I guess it was leap year, and this actually right here is year, day, month, contrary to what Jason said, because his crack team.
So there you go.
But he spends all day coding, Steve. He spends all day coding.
Proof positive the August statement that Kyle submitted was actually October's edited.
Yeah, the October. Yeah, if you go to the August one, you can download it. You can still download it right off the court records. You download, put that data matrix in, and and it will read 201901 which is means that it was the October statement because it was mailed first day of November. Yep.
It's funny how all that works.
I think that's actually
it's a stupid format unless you're getting a payment on the first of every month. Then that format can actually make sense because the only thing that's changing is the month field.
Starbuck is saying that they got in late, and they're asking if anybody noticed that Scotty Leaves served Kyle at Pleasant Garden address.
Oh yeah, we know that. I've already highlighted that. The thing is, where else he was going to serve her? Now there has been indication he actually has been maybe living in Greensboro, but he might be having both places. I don't know, but yeah, but he definitely wasn't living with Ben any longer. Even if
Right now,
even if he was ever living with Ben to begin with, which he clearly wasn't.
I'm still holding out for that Mexico ticket.
Hey, give it time. And chat has astutely noted, Sean, that date. Didn't you hear? Literally, no one uses that date format.
Yeah, nobody uses it except for Discover.
I do want to point out all these sealed things were things that need to be sealed. We don't have access to them, nor did we ask for them. And we, as in me and Ruhif, not me, Ruhif, and the lawyer, because again, people have a problem with first-person pronouns for some reason. I don't know why, but
they also don't seem to understand what supposition is.
they do not.
Just saying.
But these sealed ones are the communications that I don't want access to and never did ask for access to, nor did we get access to. Now, the lawyer did, obviously. Jackman Hugh Man, $5. I am judging you for your fortune, Steve, for shame. Thank you, Jack Hugh Man.
Fortnite. Your desktop had Fortnite on it.
I did. I play Fortnite. What do you want from me?
People are going to be pausing this
I'm
video
losing
later
my subs left and right
just to
of this.
look at every single desktop icon you had and nitpick it apart. You made the mistake of showing your desktop.
I've shown my desktop before.
And he's doing it again.
Go nuts. What's wrong
He's
with
just
it?
going to double down.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Uni. Hey, lose your shit, Uni. Look at that. Hey, look at that. That's a lot of it for when I did
Why
videos
do you
and
have
stuff
a
like that.
Skype icon on your desktop?
Give me a break. You guys killing me here. Bunch of purists.
Right now, but that's because but it's still not that bad.
I used to have a well, I was gonna say I used to have an actual file that's underneath said donkey porn, which was it's a blank. But for
you
that
mean
very reason.
those all aren't donkey porn?
I think the first 40 are. Yeah, he's so triggered that guy had Picasa. I'm like, which is basically an organization program. He got so triggered on that, thinking that was for making screenshots.
Start changing the names on those icons to things like Discover Editor and.
Hey, why do you think? Hey, why do you think I have Black Arch on my VM?
Just to get back on topic a little bit. You know what the funniest thing about this whole court case is right now?
Kyle's going to prison.
If Kyle wouldn't have demanded all this stuff in 44.1. We would have never found forgeries.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no. If Ben hadn't come forward, we probably would have never found this. And I also thanked those who gave to Kyle's scam. I mean, GoFundMe, because without that, him getting a lawyer, we wouldn't have found these.
To be fair, Steve, you might not like this, but his fundraiser itself wasn't a scam. The reason why he wanted that fundraiser to push a fraudulent defense, though. Yeah.
I call that a scam. I call it a
It's
scam.
a scam.
Rez Instance, $5. Ooh, Fortnite. I've only played like a handful of time. Rez, I'm sorry. I mean, I love you for the other games we play together. We have had quality game time together. Being kicked out of the gaming community. Thanks a lot, guys.
Excuse you?
Not that I was ever in the gaming community. They're like, we don't associate with you.
You know what's funny? You know what strikes me as the funniest bit of all this? Is it's so useless because none of it helps Kyle in any way, shape, or form rebut the presumption of service.
Which is the most ironic part, isn't it? I know that word isn't the correct usage, but how sorry, 200 Noke. Can I sue on grounds of 60,000 icons? Sue me.
Go. Well,
Hold up. Last time somebody in this community said sue me.
Yeah, that didn't end up well.
Yeah, I was gonna say which part is gonna be more of the bane of his existence?
Ooh.
The so sue me, or I've already answered that.
You want to know what I think?
Ash Scott in chat asked a very good question. Who organized the fundraiser? Okay, it first started off as a joke by UNIRock. Kyle picked up on it the next day, made the fundraiser, and then UNIRock pushed it hard.
And watch UNIRock actually, and Cheshire said this, and I said it, that UNIRock should say, hey, look, Steve should thank us, because without me doing this and me doing all being such a twat that he would have never found out that Kyle lied. Watch, you'll run some narrative like that. But I want to point out that the reason why the other day I said we hadn't filed yet because all the exhibits were not done yet. Now you know why. I wasn't being facetious on that. There's a lot of exhibits. But this run right here, I haven't read Ben's yet, but I did read the transcripts from Kyle's. I'm not going to go through it on this. Reg will go through it on his channel, so go have fun watching it on his.
Am I going to have to make
dude, this is 117 pages
stupid video that took me 3 days to do the other one? I'll be faster at this one because, I did it once now, but I don't want to.
This is ridiculous a lot. This
will take you multiple streams to read.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
If I was doing it, I would do it the same way that I did the transcript, which was with the robot.
There you go.
Break by the end of it.
I will say the highlights. I'll give you the highlights of this, though. The highlights of this are a couple amazing things. One, Skyleaf Forbes did ask Kyle very specifically, have you been convicted of felonies before? He said yes, 2, which is pretty significant in itself, and also extremely significant when it goes to how many points you have for punishment for additional felonies. So when this goes to DA, they will take that into account. But she made it very clear to him that you are aware of the penalties if you lie in this deposition, because it's not just submitting a false statement. If you do it on a affidavit, it could be a false statement, or they could go for perjury. In a deposition, when you have 2 witnesses, that is perjury, and that's what the judge, I think, was going to go for. And he had every out. Matter of fact, Scott, in this very deposition, if you want to read the whole thing when you get a chance, he makes it very clear to him. Many times, are you sure that, basically, you sure want to answer this way, so did you forge this? Did you do that? He didn't use the word forge, but he basically made it very clear that Kyle had many outs. He didn't take any of them. I personally think he should have pled the 5th the entire time, right? But I also said that he's narcissistic and he's going to answer these questions. And so it bit him in the ass, but this is exactly what the judge wanted.
Wait, he's asking, they're asking me about myself? Oh, I must answer.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, that's, did you read it? I mean, that's the way it read to me. He was so arrogant, and Scott numerous times made him fully aware to make sure he was answering.
Because everything is about me.
Oh, what I love is when, Steve, when your lawyer got to start asking his questions, immediately Kyle started with the double talk.
Oh, yeah. It's Trumpianism.
Immediately.
Yeah, that's what my lawyer said. He said he did nothing but lie. That were his words. Res instance, $10 Australian. Sure, if you call 2 hours of DOS 2 a year ago quality. Excuse me. Equality. Was that, what game is that? What game was DOS 2? I don't remember. Seriously, though, how F are you going to spin this, especially after NB and AG have pulled out at admitted defeat finally? Because they haven't been. Nate has not admitted defeat. I'm sorry. He has a long ways to go before he even begins to apologize to this community, and even then it won't be accepted. He is very dishonest. He does it to troll. He had every intention of basically doing this at the end and pulling I'm finally convinced kind of thing. We already knew that was going to happen. So, and of course,
I saw that
coming a mile away.
Given Ben's tweet that we read out earlier, I don't know if Ben can back that up with something. Then I think that anything that he says now as any kind of I was even this whole time would get completely tossed out, because it's how can you possibly say you're even if you've been on the phone with Kyle the whole time trying to help?
Yeah, well, let's ask Ben that. Yeah,
be neutral. So, but that's only if Ben can actually.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Something to back up what he said.
Ben wants to know. He said. Ben said, on second thought, please read the part where Scotty asked me if I was testifying as an act of retaliation for Kyle going on a date with another dude, which from what I understand, he didn't even know about. But I'll find that on here. But while you're doing that, ask Ben about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading a bit of the deposition here where Kyle just outright lies.
Hold on, Sean. This is in reference to Side Striking. Thank you very much if you're watching the Side Striking, because she tweeted as a reply to something, laugh my ass off. Yes, please contact Kyle. I'm sure she's referring to UNIRock. His lawyer couldn't, so clearly he'll be willing to talk to Jason.
Absolutely. Well, that he might be. He might be. I mean, Jason has been his fanboy, ride or die, fervently defending this guy who has been found liable for fraudulent conversion, stealing tens of thousands of dollars, then lying to an entire community for a year, submitting falsified evidence to the court, forgery and perjury. And hey, who's been an apologist for him? Oh, that would be UNIRock.
Well, can I just say that of all the things
not just UNIRock.
I was going to say at all.
True.
Out of all the things that the E2 managed to learn, good to see his slobbing technique has gotten better.
All right, so this is what he wanted me to see here. He says, isn't it true that you declared, isn't it true that you submitted this declaration right after learning that Mr. Curtis or Kyle went on a date with another man? I have no idea. I blocked him on all communications, so I didn't know that if he had a date, I wouldn't know about it. this is not the first time that you've commented on this lawsuit. Is that true? That this is true. Who's typing? You sound like you're going to town.
Oh, sorry.
Chash, why?
I forgot to mute.
Chash is doxing people again, live on stream.
Sorry, I was doxing
watching.
myself so I could go garner sympathy. I'm dealing with all of your trolls who have decided to come out of the woodwork and start following me on this account because they're not all blocked yet.
Oh, all the cockroaches are scurrying about. I thought to be going into the darkness.
This one's got an anti-Semitic name. Oh.
Carrie Bronson for $5. If his lawyer were to get a lawyer, that would be the icing on the cake. She doesn't need one. I mean, thank you, Carrie. Like I said, she did nothing wrong. She has no problem whatsoever. There's no ethics considerations.
No, but she might exactly be filing a suit against Kyle.
Yeah. I don't know how that works, but
I don't know if there's grounds for any kind of suit that way. I don't know the law at all when it comes to that kind of shit.
I don't.
A Shrek and Donkey decided to show up on Twitter.
Somebody in the chat says they can't see the transcripts. They are filing 47.1 and 47.2.
Yeah, you've got to click this little arrow button under the filing.
The latest super chat is a little frustrating. And do you want to read it, Steve, or can one of us read it?
Knock yourself out.
From Atheist Linguist for 5 US. For Sagan's sake, why can't Kyle and/or the court just give non-sec back to Steve already? I want classic non-sec back. Minus Kyle, of course.
The court can, actually, and the court will be probably doing that. If Kyle does anything to the channel, we can actually then petition the judge to order YouTube to reinstate it and turn it over because it is in the process of litigation and there's financial records on there. So there would be definitely the ability for the judge to do that. We don't know what Kyle's plans are. Kyle is probably going to make this very difficult for himself.
I expect the channel be deleted in the next day or two.
Oh, and again, we would petition the judge to have it reinstated toward us, and that would be another criminal charge, which is called criminal spoilage.
But here's the thing: Kyle knows he's busted. Kyle doesn't care. He doesn't care about surviving this case at this point. He knows he's going to prison.
Yeah, there is no surviving.
As far as this whole non-sequitur thing, he doesn't care anymore. He just knows he's going home.
Yeah, aka prison.
Yes,
wherever that is in North Carolina.
Yeah. All right.
Whatever zip code appears on his Discover bill. Then.
I guess I haven't read your deposition yet. It was just too much, and like I said, I had a appointment this morning. So, but this oh my goodness, Kyle Russell Curtis's was just amazing. The brashness, the arrogance, the narcissism that he has. You could just feel it oozing. That's how bad it was. So, what do you guys got some questions on? But like I said, you can guys go to this. You can read it yourself. There are some, if you look at some missing exhibits, like 2's missing, that's because that's an audio recording. So don't think it was like, that was some kind of issue. 10 was an audio recording. There are reasons why these exhibits are numbered the way they are. And by the way, this was the actual subpoena, public record. There we go. We subpoenaed.
But you faked that on Libre.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Kyle or UNIRock proved that it's all faked by Libre.
Yeah, here's the thing. I and others like you guys have known from day one that Kyle lied. We also know that UNIRock was just trolling people, I think, knowing full well that none of this mattered, as long as he got some donations out of it, as long as he got views.
I really think that UNIRock should change his intro music to drop the music and just go.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the funniest thing, though. UNIRock has done this before, and he'll do it again to other people. This is not the first time he's done this to a community. This is not the first time he's lied to people, and people have forgotten about it. Hopefully, there's enough people now, because we've got a bigger audience, and we have a bigger community than what he's used to, that they will not let people ever forget what UNIRock has done. And they will forever, ever, ever hold him responsible for the...
not UNIRock, not Nate.
No, now he's got...
not just UNIRock. No, I mean, all of them.
Now he's got to make a 6th channel and brag about how his first channel has, 30,000 subscribers that he never goes to because, he lost all his credibility there, so he had to make another channel, lost his credibility there, had to make another channel, lost his credibility there.
Well, he's like a cockroach, though. He keeps coming back, and that's But here's the thing: everybody's watching. 500 people almost watching. They all know that without question, UNIRock has lied repeatedly throughout this, and we have been telling the truth, as we've been saying.
They all have. They've all been lying the whole time. Here's the thing: if any of them wanted to hold any kind of integrity, or hold any kind of credence, or have any kind of reputation that isn't complete garbage to hold after this, hey, yeah, I was wrong. Steve did not lie, and I'm sorry. I was misled, or I thought something that I didn't, and I was incorrect, and I'm sorry forever. We don't have to accept the apology, but if they actually fuck off after that, that would be nice.
I'm not going to accept their apology, but I hope they do fuck off. Yeah.
It would have been much simpler for Jason to go onto a Periscope like, yeah, I just wanted to have a story so bad that I had to have a villain and to stick up for the underdog. That's the best way to go. So I stuck up for Kyle. I pushed him hard as being legitimate, being honest, and I messed up. Okay, fine. Just make an apology and you're good.
No,
he doubled down today and says, I never believed anything Kyle said. You're a lying.
He literally said last week, I 100% believe that you didn't forge anything on his stream to Kyle.
Oh, but he's saying, go back and watch all my stuff. I've never believed Kyle. You might want to delete everything you've done over the last year, UNIRock, because every stream, every character you've done for the last year has been nothing but Steve's lying about everything. Kyle's the saint. No, you're a lying fuck, and you picked the wrong fucking horse, and you know it.
Yeah, and he should have said, Jason. He should have said, look, I am a lying piece of crap, and what I do is I lie to people so they get entertained, so I can get vape juice and Red Bulls. If that at least would have been honest.
All right, let's actually.
Well, these aren't just apologies that are due to Steve, though. Either these are due to pretty much everybody that's a part of this community. Yes. All of the NonSequitur Show fans, all of the people who have been slandered continuously by people like Shrek and Donkey and Red's stupid puppy and this guy who's totally definitely a lawyer for sure, and the group that they're harassing, like the encouragement that they're doing to harass. Like, just the other night, that one account was just going on for hours, and Menace was like, oh, these people are awful, but maybe you're going too far. But of course, no repercussions, just justification, just them saying that, oh, but we're self-righteous because all these people are bad people, but they can't even show how people are bad people.
Because I've heard that one today.
Oh, really? Then go debunk the calumny obloquy video.
And here's the thing. Look, hang on. Look, MP for $50. Look, dude, I don't want your money. Look, you know what I want? I want you to shut the fuck up and just go the hell away from me and everybody that I care about ever again. That's all I ever want from you, MP. You have been dishonest for years, and you damn well know it. I have messages going back to you from 3 years ago of you admitting that you use things like clickbait and that you don't give a shit about any of this. You just do it for drama because you have a group of people that convince you to do it because they, quote, wanted you to fight me to the death. You are dishonest. You are just as much a scum as Kyle is. Okay, but I will read this for you because you did lose a bet. Kyle is scum. He should go directly to jail. Riff was right. The right person won. Good luck with NonSec. You deserve it. I lost a bet, for this is me paying up. Stay the hell away from us. That's all I ever want from you. You are dishonest.
Wait, is that account?
That is MP. That is MP's account. Yes.
That's Nate.
That is Nate.
Oh,
and he did say that he was going to.
You can't accuse people of saying they're harassing a lawyer. You can't accuse people of lying and being RA stuff, because I don't know about monetization for this, whatever. And then pretend that, oh my god, I was no. These things don't exist in a bubble. You don't get to whitewash it, dumbass. That's not how that works.
Can I read this latest one? Can I read this latest one, please?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
At least.
There's two. There's two.
Hold on.
I said latest.
Before that, MP said, send me my money back, please.
Yeah.
Can you do that, Steve?
Yeah, I'll refund his money. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, Elise, for $99.99. You may not remember me, Steve, but I was friends with Kyle early on. Been watching from afar. Congrats. He conned me out of thousands. Glad he was finally caught. I don't know who you are, Elise, but if he's conned you and you have grounds... That's
I'm really
fucked up.
actually.
I have a question. You read
like
his super chat. Why should you send him his money back? What's the ethics on that one?
No, the ethics is he
Not
used Super
profiting
Chat,
off of bullshit.
he used Super Chat to get a message out there under the guise of a bet that he lost. But I'm guessing Steve wanted nothing to do with him before the bet, during the bet, or after the bet. So yeah, just send the money back.
You know what? No, screw him.
But
you know what?
he,
I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna keep your no. I'm gonna keep your money. I'm gonna hide you on channel, and I'll stay the fuck away from us.
S Winger for
I have no ethical
Weingart
problem
for
with taking his money, dude. Just stay the hell away from us. And by the way, we're not gonna forget about this, Nate. We're not. Trust me.
Is that the same Nate I'm thinking of, or is that a different Nate?
Nate Brody.
That's Brody?
That's Nate Brody,
That's
dude.
Brody.
I have no ethical
But
compunctions about taking his money, but I want him to stay the hell away from us.
How about he?
But I'm gonna use
Oh my god! Oh my god!
But I'm gonna use that money for something good. I just, as a matter of fact, I just gave somebody $50 the other day that needed some major help. The next person that really needs some money, that money will get donated to them.
S Weingart for 5 says Uni got supers from Steve's group, then Kyle's group, then got the vape juice to make off with.
So I'll save that for the next fundraiser we have. Like I said, I've no problem with helping people out when they need it. I was up late last night because I was trying we needed some help, and I will not leave people hanging. So I don't know Elsie, by the way, you know that. I don't remember, honestly, and I'm sorry that he conned you out of thousands. Honestly, I really am. I'd like to have more details on that, actually, if you don't mind, because you might be in the same. Other people might be in the same position that you were in. And if people come around, and by the way, I don't know you, so you weren't like somebody like Nate who's been a piece of shit for like years. So I will appreciate what you said, and I want people to recognize they were wrong, and if they're legit, I have no problem moving past it. I don't, but there's certain people I will never move past. MP was one of them.
Well, it's a situation that, here's the thing, if he wants to demonstrate that he actually means a damn thing he says because nobody actually believes him, he has to go away and stay away. If you are actually sorry and you actually want to demonstrate that you are not a complete piece of shit, go away.
Well, and one thing before that, he needs to go away and admit that he was wrong. And by the way, Nate, these are things you were wrong on. You're wrong about it not being a business. It was a business. I have that screenshot. You're wrong about all the falsification stuff. I have all that. Everything you've said, we're wrong. You need to have a mea culpa.
How about go correct Matt Dillahunty and Aaron Raw on stupid rocks being atheist shit that you fucking lied about.
Here's the thing. Here's a fun fact.
And how about the fact that Dillahunty tried to come at people sideways on Twitter because of your lying and your bullshit about people harassing a lawyer that never fucking happened.
Yeah. So why don't you do that, Nate? Why don't you make a mea culpa video, admit that you were mistaken on this, and be honest, because I have the screenshots, and we will put this on NonSequitur in the future, that you had told me, you actually agreed with me on all the atheist agnostic stuff, and the only reason you were arguing with me on it was because people wanted you to, quote, fight me to the death on it. You know that Ozymandias and Alex Malpass and Burt Pohl all told you my logic was correct, and you made some hatchet job videos trying to make it appear that I said something that I did not say, right? And Matt Dillahunty and Aaron Raw ran with it, trying to use you as a source. That is dishonest, and you need to fix that. If you have any shred of ethics whatsoever, because we're not letting you forget about it.
Huge list of things. How about the stuff about harassment? How about the stuff about rape apologetics? How about the stuff about
that's a good one too. Yes,
me or Sweet Heathen lying about assault? How about the amount of garbage that's just on Twitter in general? How about you just delete all your shit and start fresh? How about that? Go be someone else in another corner of the internet.
Elsie 4999 saw something about a fundraiser for friends. Donate this and F Kyle. Thank you, Elsie. But I really do appreciate it. But I do want, and yeah, we always help people out. That's what this community was set up for, and this is why when UNIRock and them started really trying to shit on people for helping people out, it really had an effect on us, because that's what we want to do. We want to help people. I mean, he actually went after Reds for having a fundraiser to raise money for a bed, for God's sake, for somebody. That's how disgusting he is. But yeah, I'd like to know, you know, why you believe Kyle in the first place. Else, again, because it might help other people. But no, I think you're right. He knew the whole rape apologetic stuff was crap. He knew that was all bogus from Fiona Robertson, who was all butthurt because I was against the Catholic Church for having not done anything for all the pedophilia that they were dealing with. They're just moving. Bishops around, and then I was fighting actively against that.
She's Catholic? Shrek over there didn't like something that you said, and so she decided to try and character assassinate you about something completely irrelevant to try and say you're just as bad as the entirety of the Catholic Church, because that totally makes sense.
Yeah, that's what we had to do.
Fallacy.
That's what we had to deal with. And of course, Nate Brody, being as dishonest lawyer that he is, ran with that narrative and tried to character assassinate me to make me some kind of rape apologist that I never was. I mean, what do you do when somebody is that dishonest? When anybody could see right through that?
Well, this is what I was talking about, or what I've mentioned before, that again, it's a matter of people who know better taking advantage of people who don't or can't.
That's, you know what? I think you're right.
I mean, go look for yourself if you want. I don't think that there's much of a discussion to be had. It's just more of an observation. But it's a matter, the only way you can kind of deal with stuff like this and deal with this kind of slander and harassment, speaking of, you know, defamation and such, as he was, that you don't get to turn around, donate some money to say some half-assed, neutral garbage and pretend like it and try and whitewash the situation, because that's exactly what he is trying to do here. Yeah. Don't slander a bunch of people, accuse them of crimes, lie about them over and over and over again, and just try and defame them and do as much damage to them as possible to troll, and then come to their channel and then act like you're the neutral party, act like they're the bad guy, like you're harassing people. You're legitimately doing that, and it's not just the people in the call.
I will give him some sage advice. I think I've done to Kyle and everybody else. Whether he takes it or not is his business, but I've always tried to be very honest in my eyes to people. If Nate has any hope of coming out from under this, he has to do a full mea culpa video, and he needs to apologize for the apologetics. He needs to apologize for the atheist logic shit. He needs to apologize for saying that Sweet Heathen was stalking him, and everything that he has done, he needs to apologize for on a video.
He better go watch his videos back and make a goddamn list.
We will come after him with the things he has said and hold him responsible one day. And at least he'll have some defense. If at least does that. I'm giving him heads up on this. I really am. I did the same thing to Mr. Atheist, if you guys remember. I wrote a blog to Mr. Atheist saying, hey, here's your out. This is what you need to do to get out from under this. Did he take advantage of it?
You mean the guy that was hiding all of the replies when he had Kyle
Correct.
On Sequitur while there was a cease and desist going on? That guy who tried to whitewash the entire situation, pretend it didn't happen, and pretend he was the good guy as he told everybody to go fuck themselves, which is exactly the same thing that Nate just tried to do here.
Correct. Yep. So let's get back to this, though, because we'll see what Nate Brody does. You know, I want to see if he actually mans up. I think he has the power to do so, actually. If all the people that'll man up, it would be Nate. I've known Nate for 4 years. Better than most people. This is what I know when he did this for lulz. He did this to troll. He did it to side with people just so he can get views.
Yeah, but at the same time, I see him going down the road of another dishonest shit. One of the female variety where, yeah, I'll put out an apology and then delete it a few days later.
He won't delete it. I mean, he might unlist it, but he won't delete it. All right, we'll see if actually what he does. Like I said, if he apologizes,
he already unlisted the one saying you were right.
Well, go figure.
No, hold on. Nate does do that to make sure that it can stay monetized.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to fault him for that.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, I'm not going to fault him for certain things, but Elsie says she's going to give me her story. I do appreciate that. Like I said, and I put this out to everybody. If you sided with Kyle, but you weren't somebody who maliciously went after my friends or myself, mostly my friends, then you're welcome back to come around. I'll think about unblocking you and all that if I had blocked you before. So I will consider unblocking a lot of people if they just apologize. That's all. I think that's fine. I'm not going to ever unblock certain people like UNIRock, obviously.
According to UNIRock's latest thing, the whole court record is sealed now.
No, clearly not.
Does
that look like it's been
sitting on
sealed?
it
What
right
the-
now?
These are all messages. Look, Ben sent 1,400 pieces of evidence, 1,400 pages, for God's sake.
They're not all relevant, and the
They're not
ones
all
that
relevant.
aren't are the ones that are sealed. That's how that works.
But I wanted to show you guys this because we never saw this before, or I never showed it before fully. But this was our thing to Kyle for a request for production of documents. It's kind of telling because the response for all of these was pretty much the same. Mr. Curtis objects to the request of overly broad in time and scope in the request. Relates to the period of time not relevant to the date of attempted service of the summons and complaint in this lawsuit. Subject to and without wavering these objections, Mr. Curtis will produce these discovered statements marked as confidential and attorney's eyes only per stipulation of the plaintiff's request. He did not produce any additional documents. He said that he would produce some and give them to his lawyer. He did not, which again leads to multiple different charges because he lied under oath on the deposition. But that was basically all these. And he confused something. The subpoenas we had were not part of these depositions. The Zelle, the Discover, and the Amazon, which were not part of these depositions. They had nothing to do with being confidential or attorneys' eyes only. Scott Lee Forbes had no problem with what we had released already. So hashtag UNIRock was wrong about that. And by the way, we are still working with Amazon to get that. But as you guys know, by now, we know that the Amazon was forged as well. And that will be at least in the criminal proceedings. I'll tell you right now.
From Heat Shield in the chat, 1,400 pages. Almost as cluttered as Steve's desktop.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Okay.
You demand Heat Shield. You demand.
I actually liked Heat Shield, but I'm not. I don't know now. Okay.
I do.
I know. How can you not like him?
I'm sorry, Steve. I can't hear you over all those desktop icons.
Go ahead, meme it. Go ahead, do it. Res instance. EFF the CC. F the CC. F the people that defended the CC, and especially F the people that defend the CC. Is that?
I don't know what CC is supposed to be.
Unless he means Caffeine Corner, that doesn't really make sense.
I think he meant to say Clown Car Posse. I think that's what.
I think he meant to say Kyle Curtis, but he spells it with a K. I don't know. You can tell us in a second.
Rez, tell us. I'm gonna start making the
Where
meme
is
of
Rez?
Steve
Is he in here?
Lemons.
Did Reg join us?
Red showed up in the live chat
I saw that.
briefly to tell Nate to fuck off.
Yeah, I saw that, but where is he?
Do you
Golden
really
Unicorn
want
for
the answer
5.
to that question?
Oh, was he still
Golden
there? What
Unicorn
we said
for 5.
before?
He's Catholic Church. CC is Catholic Church.
Gotcha.
Golden Unicorn for 5 says, "This is so satisfying. I dare Jason and Effin Brody to try and justify their lies they have spewed for 1 year. I dare them, bakas."
Oh, they will.
I'm willing to bet Jason's gonna try and justify it, and I'm willing to bet that Nate Brody's gonna try and pretend it didn't happen like he just did. Godless Scummer for 2 said, "Has Uni finally ditched Kyle?"
I do have a screenshot of Uni saying he'll never turn on Kyle, which I said before he will. We'll see. Rez, I'll get you.
But he's never believed anything Kyle said.
Mirai Vegeta said he gives it a week, or she gives it a week.
He's already turned on Kyle.
I already know, but that statement was made about a week ago. To be honest with you,
today he's actually turned on Kyle today.
Right.
But now it's just all of NonSec was evil. Yeah. That's his new thing.
I think Mate actually might try to get it off from under this because that might be the smartest move he ever made. I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't in some ways, but I think that if he just said, hey, look, we were wrong about all this. I apologize for character assassinating Steve, going into the rape apologetics and bullshitting all that, and especially the most egregious thing I have
in exactly what he's apologizing for.
Yeah, but I think the most egregious is the one I have the hardest basically forgiving any kind of thing with Nate. Not that I would ever forgive him to begin with, but the hardest one for me is him saying that Sweet Heathen was stalking him. I have a very difficult time getting over that.
Well, speaking of everything that was going on, and sticking more to the initial topic of this, hey, Steve, Was the NonSequitur Show ever a debunking channel?
No.
No, it was a conversation channel. It was designed initially for opinions to be sacred, which means if you have a disagreement, we want to hear about your disagreement. And that's kind of what we're going to go with.
Yep.
We want to hear your disagreement. We want to have the discussion.
Just out of curiosity, Bull, how many people were banned from the NonSec channel before it fell apart?
Banned from the channel?
I would say only a couple that I ever saw.
Yeah, it would have been a handful. Yeah, it would have been maybe half a dozen, maybe a dozen.
That one guy that denied the space shuttle stuff for sure, whoever that was.
Yeah, there was a couple like that.
It was the extreme things that got people banned from NonSec.
Right. You come to me and say a Challenger never happened when I watched it happen when I was 13 years old and sitting in science class. I'm going to have an issue with you.
But the point I'm trying to get to is, after NonSec imploded,
I got banned.
What did the ban list look like at them? Because we actually live streamed Kyle banning people from the channel.
Well, it wasn't just Kyle, but yeah.
I would say it's in the hundreds now.
I would say it's in the thousands.
I am.
It was almost 1,000 comments that got deleted at that point, and they were all.
I would be honestly. We'll all probably be shocked at the actual number once we get in there and look at it.
I will just so people know, by the way, so I get on record, Todd is out there. I will safely say with 100% absolute surety that it was not Todd who gave me the Amazon screenshots. And I will stake my channel on that. So this narrative that UNIRock was trying to throw Todd under the bus is again another bullshit lie that UNIRock has decided to go with. But I will safely tell you that he was not the person.
Well, sweet. Jason does like to throw that word out there, so maybe Nate got something right for once.
What did she say? Oh yeah, he I believe Uni said that Nate was a career criminal. I think those are the words he used.
Okay, but here's the thing on that. That actually came from an interview that Nate had done where he had said growing up he had committed a lot of crimes that he never got convicted for. That's where he was kind of going with that. Now, I don't care one way or another. Everybody has some shit things they do in the youth. I really don't care what Nate did as a youth. There's a lot of things we probably did in youth that we probably could have got arrested for.
I
mean, there's probably no doubt about that.
I still do things I'd probably get arrested for.
Yeah,
but...
at least in some states, right? Depends on the state you're in, I guess. I remember one time very, very clearly that I almost got somebody tried to steal from me, and I went after them, and they were almost ready to arrest me until they realized that I was the victim. But I was like, I want to hurt this person, but.
Well, I was thinking like pot charges and shit like that because I live in Florida, and for some reason, the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. No, I never got into that stuff. But let's see here. Nate, Go to Unicorn says Nate Brody is a perfect example of a person who that gaslights people. He has demonized lies again and again. I agree with you. He does gaslight. And this will be a permanent record right here. All this eventually, and Nate knows this, and he knows that people will find his name and they will find these videos, and they will find that he is a dishonest lawyer. And I stand by that because we have the evidence to back that up. That he was wrong from day one. He even said there was no business. He was wrong on that. He has tried to character assassinate me for how long? How long has he tried to character assassinate me? I mean, years.
It's going on. I've known you 4.5, and it's been going on pretty much the whole time.
Elsie, give this to your friend also, and look for my email tonight. Thank you, Elsie. Yeah, I will take care of my friend. Like I said, unfortunately his phone got turned off, and he does deliveries. With like DoorDash, and that would be really bad. So, but no, I take care of my friends. They know that. Let's see here. But yeah, I look forward to your email. I'd like to know your story about what it was about Kyle. That was, people seem to like gravitate to. And again, I don't care about personality contests. I care about evidence, right? I never saw once Kyle produce a shred of evidence for anything that he said. I've never seen UNIRock produce a shred of evidence for anything he has said. He had said, like Scotty Lee Forbes logged into his computer.
I don't see any of them produce anything.
Yeah, it's absolutely nothing. And what they do try to produce as evidence is either contrary to what they actually are claiming, or completely non-relevant, or been twisted so out of context. You have to be, like, be a contortionist to even try to make sense of their convoluted reasoning. And then they say that they're the critical thinkers. It's like amazing. All right, but anyways, what do you guys got left on here? Because like I said, I wanted to turn this over to Reds, but I don't know where he's at, so Reds can kind of read some of this stuff on his channel. Because there's a lot in that OAB today.
Rez is in here, but we don't know where Reds is.
Yeah, Rez, what do you got to add, buddy?
Well, forgive me if you already went over this. I came in about 40 minutes into the stream, but with Kyle's lawyer pulling out, what does that exactly mean? Is that going to expedite the case further, or?
That's a good question. All right.
So it might actually make it go slower.
Well, here's the way I'm going to look at it, the way I think it's going to happen. The judge could, in theory, give Kyle some time to find new counsel. The amount of time he gives to him is probably going to be exactly the same as notification that he has a contempt hearing, which is 5 days. He only gave him about, 4 days? Remember last time he gave him 4 days to produce document or to get his shit together? Remember the last? So it was over a weekend, right? He didn't give him very long. So I think that the judge is going to compile all this. He's going to rule on it. He's going to find proper service. That's a given. And then he will schedule a contempt hearing. That has to be at least 5 days notice. And he might say, in those 5 days, Mr. Curtis can attempt to seek new counsel. I don't think he's going to give him much more than that. And he also, I'm certainly going to turn all this over to the DA. Kyle's looking at forgery for forging Ben's signature, because in that deposition he had said that he has the original, which was a signed in ink, that he was going to turn over to the lawyer. He failed to do so. This means that it was raised from a level I to a level F felony. He will be probably charged with submission of multiple counts of altering evidence to the court and perjury. So and false and maybe making false statements.
Is it 2 counts of forgery?
With that, I don't know. The problem is like I haven't asked like other lawyers this. It depends on the state how they if they say, well, these are individual counts, or they just do one count.
It depends on how anal retentive they want to go. And now with the whole question of the confidence with which we can say that the whole service issue is going to be thrown out and it has not been rebutted. Sean, how was it that Judge Gale put it? Do you recall?
But
when it comes to the matter of proper service, Mr. Curtis has failed.
Well,
to
actually,
rebut it.
he didn't say Mr. Curtis. He said you have failed. He was talking to Scotty Lee.
Yeah. Right.
But it's still that whole thing of people trying to say, oh, you're jumping the gun. The judge hasn't ruled. The judge tipped his hand at the end of that hearing.
Yes, he did. And he also said that it wouldn't have mattered if Kyle was living in Charlotte, because that did not matter to proper service, which, by the way, we have said from the very beginning. So whoever helped Kyle concoct this plan really screwed Kyle over, because it was all for naught. Godless Scummer for £2. Hey, Kyle, just 3 words, better call Saul. And I put my Patreon in.
Saul is too good for him.
I put my Patreon in the live chat and it's in the description. I do appreciate people paying Patreons, because that's a monthly thing for me. We're going back to the science. Matter of fact, I got something really cool coming up on Sunday. I have Jackson Wheat and Willie Mays fan, who's a young Earth creationist who actually wants to learn a little bit about evolution. He's starting to maybe come to the realization that he has been lied to, perhaps, on just like Wayne Fillmore. Those are the kind of things this channel is for. Those are things I enjoy doing. Do they make money? No. But, I enjoy those things more than anything else, and I want to get back to that kind of stuff. And so, if people come to Patreon, they're supporting that kind of content more so than this kind of stuff, which obviously is non-sec related, and I told you guys I'd keep you guys informed, but we want to put that on the NonSequitur Show channel and then maybe on the Great Debate Community channel. But I'm sorry, I want to get back to the science stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah, we've had that discussion, Steve. The reason I get a little short with this stuff is because it's been going on so damn long, and I just want to get back to making content.
I'd rather not make as much money, and have as many views. Like we have like what I don't know, like 500 people watching or something like that. But I mean, I'd rather have even 150 people watching, learning about science and philosophy if that's the case. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not Jason. I'm not here to have 1,000 views or 2,000 views like we're getting on NonSequitur, which would be nice. Don't get me wrong. But I want the people to watch because they want to learn something, not because they're hate viewing or not because it's drama related. And no, this is not drama. This is our lives. This has been a year and a half of Kyle putting us, myself, my friends, people I care about in the entire community through hell for his own narcissistic supply. That's it. He has lied from day one. He lied about the Medi-Cal. He lied about the money being existing. He lied about having a lawyer. He lied about having a CPA. Now he's lied about having spending false evidence for the Discover, for the Zell. I mean, where does it stop? Where does it stop?
And people have been helping him do it.
Yes, absolutely, they have been helping him and supplying that need that he has.
If I could follow up on my question and just summarize the answer I think I got, it's not so much good for us, but it's just really bad for Kyle.
Well,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, but it's still good for us in a way. I mean, look, Kyle has two options. Well, three options. Okay, one, he can wait for the contempt hearing and go to jail. Two, he can turn everything over to us now. Three, he can do something stupid to the channel, and we'll just go to the judge, and he'll get an extra charge, which is called criminal spoilage. I mean, and then we get the channel faster. So he has options.
I mean, yes, but he's not going to use the logical one.
Well,
you forget the other one where he could take the money he earned in Alaska GoFundMe and fucking run.
Where is he gonna? Where is he gonna?
I don't know.
He didn't get that. He didn't get that much to run.
He can't legally leave the country, can he?
Yeah, he didn't get that much money to run. And if he leaves the country, that's going to be very difficult for him to survive. But he might leave the state. He might go to California to be with his brother. But we have all that information. We know where his brother works, lives. He will be found. He will be extradited. There's no question about that. Then there'll probably be federal charges filed. So whatever. I mean. He's not getting out from under this.
Is he able to legally leave the country?
Right now, there's no charges filed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not limited to that capacity yet.
But things probably won't move
forthcoming.
How is he going to survive in another country? Come on.
Well, this is going to be the last bit I have to say. Now? This is my parting gift before I go and decompress for a bit. Just remember, everyone, learn the lesson that Kyle has failed to. When you play stupid games, you win utterly stupid prizes.
It's words to live by, man. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yes. I'm probably going to end up on Reds at some point, so I will see anyone who follows over there.
Yeah, let me
same. He's already
wrapping this up. I got
everyone else. Night.
Am I still presenting?
No.
I'm gonna have this meme done by the time we go over to Reds' channel because I'm almost finished. So look out for that there because I'll send it to him so he can show it.
I'm gonna go smoke a beer before he sends me an invite.
All right. So Reds is setting. Does he have the link? Is he setting it up?
I don't have it yet, but I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette before it happens.
So what's happening on Red's channel?
Going through this a little bit more thoroughly rather than just talking about it, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, okay.
But hey, what the hell do I know? I'm just a goblin.
Hang on, let me 1 second here. All right, so I'm wrapping this up. Guys, I appreciate this. Like I said, this has been a long journey, and this is just the beginning of the end. There's more that has to come down the pike, obviously. We still need the judge to rule, which may take some time, but I don't think it's going to be that time. I know I need to clean up my desktop. I understand this. I will work on that, I promise.
I think the
takeaway from this and what happened here is essentially don't fucking make shit up about people and then force them to clean up your mess.
Also, don't start fights you're not willing to finish. What was his initial words?
Sue me.
Yeah, funny that.
Yeah, well, he underestimated the competition here. He never, like I said, never pick fights with people that are smarter than you, like Riff.
Lest we forget the reason this is all public in the first place, because he wanted to take it to the court of public opinion. He forced it into the court of public opinion. and then ran away and tucked his tail between his legs and hid under a rock until he had something, came up with a story, basically. Came up with a narrative and ran with it. So there you go. Your court of public opinion has been convened and has found you guilty of fuckery in the first degree.
Well, I don't think of anything better to say than that. Thank you, Bull. Guys.
Bye, everyone.
Love you guys. Appreciate all that you guys do. Please like, subscribe, share this video all over the place. Again, this is going to be in perpetuity. I want people to know exactly what happened here because this is not over, but it is definitely the beginning of the end. And it should be pretty smooth sailing, but I don't want people to forget. And we will not let them forget. Good night.